It's fall, and what else are we going to make except apple cider slushies? We have the Vevor Slushy Machine, and it's time to see if we can slush up some cherry cider and apple cider and make us a fall treat. So, welcome to the Amy Learns to Cook kitchen. So we were recently in a farm market around where we live, and they were having sort of a fall celebration. So they had pumpkins and pies and baked goods and all that fun stuff. And they also had cider. They had their cherry cider and they had regular cider. This actually isn't their cider, but they had cherry and they had regular. This was a little cheaper. And we were walking around and they were sampling them, and we turned around and they literally were making apple cider slushies in a slushy machine. And Eric said, we have one of those from Vevor. So today we're going to find out, will it slush, right? We have some fresh made cherry cider from that farmer's market, and we have some apple cider. We're going to make us a fall treat. Literally, we're making apple cider slushies. We're going to see if this will slush. So we have the Vevor 2-tank slushy machine. We did a video on this before. I'll put a link to it up here. We slushed some root beer and some orange crush. It was amazing, right? I always thought that you had to use like slushy syrup, but we found that soda slushed up really good. It was really cool. So we're going to be doing that with the apple cider in this machine. So let me get this machine set up and let's start making us some slushies. Okay, so we have the machine all set up and we need to load the cider. We're going to do apple in one side, cherry in the other. Okay, we're going to go ahead and load this up here. Is this a half-gallon jug, Boo?
And we'll find out in 2 seconds. We'll show you the fill line in like 2 seconds if this doesn't take it to it or not. This is you fill these things to 2 liters. The freezing action expands it to 3 liters. So the fill line is important. Do not go past that. Okay.
Ooh,
this is either a 2-liter jug or a half-gallon. I have to look at. Either way, it'll be closed.
Yep.
I think we're a little short, I think, so it's probably half-gallon. 64 fluid ounces. You know what that means. Ding, 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 half-gallon. That means we are not at 2 liters.
So there's the max fill line. So part 2, we're filling the second tank with the regular apple cider. Apple cider.
Be careful, because this is a gallon. We don't want to put the whole thing in, do we?
Yeah, no.
That's dangerous. Actually, let's do something. Shake it out, just to be safe.
The reason we only have a half-gallon of the one is because it was like really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
We bought this at the regular grocery store for like $6.
All right, so we're gonna do
and out at the farmer's market, they wanted like $17. We just couldn't do that. That was too expensive. So.
All right. What's the matter, Garcon? You want a little apple cider?
Yeah. Tied me over. So let's put the lid on so we can get ready to slush.
Yay. Okay. So that's bowl 1. Oh. So we're at 7.4 Celsius. That's because these were in the refrigerator at about 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Had they been at room temperature, this would be closer to 20. Celsius.
Yeah, I mean,
Now let's go.
they obviously they slush faster if the mixture's cool.
Yes, we recommend you keep this in the refrigerator. It'll slush faster. We're gonna go, and that was the compressor just kicking on. We can go ahead and get number 2 going. We hit set. Going. It needs a little warmer. So now we're good, right? So it'll take whatever time it wants, right? It could take 45 minutes, it could take an hour, it just depends. When you have 2 of these guys going at once, the power is divided by both compressors, so it takes a little longer than if you have just one running. So it may take a little over an hour, it just depends.
And the slushies on the way. You never thought you would have slushies in the fall, but this is a perfect. Your kids would love to have apple cider slushies.
So the one bowl that was 8.0, it's down to 7.3, so it's approaching freezing. The other one is already in the 6s. It's at 6.4. So
it's only been a few minutes.
Let the countdown begin to slushiness.
So what if I put a little rum in that?
If you're going to put alcohol in it,
alcohol affects its ability to freeze. To freeze, yeah.
Now, items that have more sugar might tolerate the alcohol a little bit. Like you can't freeze just pure water. These things don't like pure water. There is a ratio of sugar minimum it has to have for the crystals to form.
Yeah, so if you have true slushy syrup, you're going to get a better slush out of it because it has the proper sugar ratio for maximum slushy potential. But if you're like us, we don't necessarily have the syrup around all the time. You really have to order it and have it shipped. And if you don't have the slushy, you can slush up other things. You can put orange juice in here. You could put soda. You could put, obviously now we're putting apple cider.
The manufacturer has a recommended ratio for water to sugar of like 1.65. So they tell you what it has to be if you're going to experiment, or if you're going to buy a commercial syrup and you have to dilute it with water. That may help you.
Yeah.
But if you just buy stuff that has a lot of sugar in it, like cider or not diet soda, but regular soda.
Yeah, that'll slush. That's why you never see, you go to a convenience store and you never see diet slushies because it's not going to slush.
No, it's all about.
And this won't like give you the maximum slushy like the syrup will. You're going to get the best slush out of something that's the proper sugar ratio, but you still will get a nice slushy out of here. We got a nice slushy out of the soda. And when we went to the farmer's market, they had a nice slush out of that.
Yeah.
So it should, and this is the exact cherry slushy that they were
using.
Yeah. The exact cherry cider.
And this apple cider is not low calorie. I'll tell you that.
No. So as this progresses, we'll show you how the ice is developing and how the slush is going.
So we're at 3.7 Celsius on the one and 4.2 on the other. So we are getting down towards freezing. Yeehaw.
Awesome. So as you can see, we're starting to get a little snowflakes up in there.
So this guy's negative 1.3 Celsius. And this guy's negative 1.9. So those who thought the apple cider might freeze a little quicker, ding, 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 you're the winner. But he is getting there. He's just a little slower.
So one of the things that the Vevor does is there's like a refrigerator bar inside the tank, and that causes it to freeze, and there's this little thing that comes and slides through and scrapes it.
This white auger, it's scraping that cylinder, that middle cylinder gets cold.
Yeah, it gets really cold.
You don't want to touch that. That's bad news.
Yeah, so does this have 2 compressors in it?
I don't know 100%. I think it's probably one.
Okay.
But I don't really know for sure.
So that's how slushies happen. So we're making progress.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like we have full-on slushies here. Yay! So Cherry first.
I want the cherry.
Yeah, that's slushed.
It's slushed.
So you don't necessarily need the syrup. That's slushed too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this is cool. I love this thing.
Now,
Customer number 2. Customer number 2. These are pretty big cups to be having Slurpees. Whoa. It's time for a taste test. Okay, Boo, you ready to try out the slushie? Here is the apple cider. Cheers. It's really good.
So we got a little bit of liquid.
I actually like it better than the soda.
Well, stir it up a little bit here.
It's really good.
So
Now that tastes like fall.
So I stirred it up a little bit. So now we got the more consistency of the ice crystals, I suppose. So yeah.
We're sharing straws here because might as well not create any more garbage. So here is the cherry.
Which the cherry is awesome.
The cherry is really good. Wow.
In a little bit of my research, keeping this between -2 and -3 Celsius is what you want to do, unless it's carbonated, which then needs it even colder, so -4 would be ideal. These aren't carbonated, so -2, -3. This guy was -2, this guy was -3. They both appear to be about equal consistency. Stir them up, and
I love this. You know, at first I was like, what would we use a slushy machine before in the fall and winter? This is pretty good.
cider. Put in the microwave and have a hot one, or put in a slushy and have a cold one.
Slushy. I like it. Thanks, Vevor. I'll put links down to the slushy machine in the description. I really like it. It's a lot of fun. And these are delicious.
Just don't get a brain freeze.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.